Welcome to Horrible Horror, where the three of us, lifelong horror fans, review bottom of the barrel B horror films and critique them. I'm Seth from the HellBound Horror Show, which reviews old and forgotten horror
And
films.
I'm Steve from Retro Analog Entertainment. I review horror Blu-rays and 4Ks mainly on my channel.
Hi, I'm Dylan at SpookBoy709. I like to make short independent films, and I also work in the film industry as a set painter.
It's been so long since we've actually done one of these. I am so excited to watch another bad horror movie with all of you.
I'm super excited. It's been way too long. We just love doing this, and I hope that you guys love watching them.
Hopefully the one that we're watching is better than the last one we watched.
Oh my god! The digits!
My digits. And if it's not, we're just going to have fun watching it regardless.
So I guess it was my turn to pick a movie this time. And I kind of wanted to go with something a bit more retro, something from the 80s, because the other movies that we've been watching, all of them were from the early to, I guess, later 2000s. I think Amityville in Space was almost like a brand new movie. So we have a list of movies to choose from, really obscure ones and ones that aren't considered very good. And I chose Night of the Zombies from 1981.
Night of the Zombies 2.
The best year in horror? What?
Well, that was my question, Seth. So you have done almost every movie from 1981, but you have not reviewed this one?
Yeah, so there was actually quite a few from 1981 that I didn't review because they're so obscure and so, how do I say it, not good. But I'm excited to see it in this kind of context because I get to watch it with both of you and we can kind of riff it a little bit more. And this isn't like a Blu-ray, this isn't a DVD. Like there's not a lot of history on this one. It's a VHS rip that we're going to be using. So the quality is going to be a little sus, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Is this in 4K?
This, I think it is in 4K.
Yeah, that's the main reason why I really chose it. I knew nothing about it. I didn't look up anything about it. I just saw Night of the Zombies, 1981. I was like, all right, we'll watch that one.
So it looks like the director from this movie is Joel M. Reed. And Steve, you actually know a little bit about this director. Can you give us some insight?
Yeah, actually, I just found out that he actually directed Bloodsucking Freaks, which just recently came out from Vinegar Syndrome, like a really fancy Vinegar Syndrome release, which I actually just purchased too. I'm not saying that that's one of the greatest movies ever made, but it's one of those cult classics, and it's pretty trashy too. So I don't know. I'm kind of curious to see what we're going to be getting with Night of the Zombies for sure.
It's almost too late!
Top it off!
Do you think Night of the Zombies could be set up for a Vinegar Syndrome release in the near future?
Maybe, because it looks like it's not available on anything, right? Except for like an old VHS dub. So I mean, that'd be interesting. I mean, I'd probably get it.
It's a 2.6 on IMDb. Let's watch it first. That looks really real.
Backpack? Yeah.
Yeah.
A
Looks
nice
really
wrap.
real.
Great props.
Again, like Seth said earlier, keep in mind it's VHS, so quality is probably not going to be that good. You're watching what we're watching. But I'm still excited. I'm excited to see something that's very unknown, I guess.
You can find it on YouTube, so it's not like it's rare or anything. But yeah, I'm definitely excited to check it out.
Let's just talk a little bit about the movie before we get into it.
Yeah.
Here's a synopsis. CIA Special Agent Nick Monroe is sent to flush out what are suspected to be deserters from the old U.S. Army Chemical Corps unit. Nick's ruthless investigation uncovers a ghoulish plot of world domination. But first, he must escape the horror that does not want to be known. Yet. Yet. Yet.
All right, so let's put that tape in, view some highlights of us watching it, and then we'll review it.
The Horrible Horror.
Is that a zombie?
Oh, so that wasn't even a zombie? No.
No.
I know, that was
I thought that was a zombie. I was like...
Are these
They're
zombies right
bullets.
now? Are these the zombies? Is that a zombie?
Steve, that's like...
We're gonna ask it about everyone.
I know. You like are legitly asking, but it's funny because who the hell knows? Oh, we got the Pentagon
Ooh,
over here.
stock footage.
Tiger print?
There's like chairs. This is a banquet hall.
No, they're at a hotel right now. They're like,
Yeah.
whole area here.
They were armed with Gamma
It's not the Pentagon?
That's what they lit this whole movie with.
Candles. It's all right.
He's
I'm
like,
gonna
no,
flip
it's
this
all
table.
right.
It's fine.
This movie's got me yawning.
Or is that them? Did they disintegrate?
That was the most exhausting movie I've ever watched, I think. Like, that's how bad it was. I don't care.
Yeah, that was rough. I gotta admit, that was rough.
I would like to start this little review off.
Please.
I would like to say that it's probably one of the worst movies I've ever watched.
Wow, we're gonna get right into it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go right there because I don't know what else to say. I tried. I almost fell asleep so many times. I'm just gonna go to sleep.
Matty, giving up already? Hey, doctor.
Oh my god, 22 minutes
All right,
left.
come on, let's go.
And don't get me wrong, I can fall asleep easy, but this one I could have been like the most awake I've ever been in my life. They could have given me like adrenaline shots, and I would have been like,
Gas detector.
gas?
Did he find the gas? The gas! I want only a few more years.
So the coolest part about Night of the Zombies, it is the first movie of its kind where you watch it, you actually turn into a zombie yourself.
It was painful, and through the whole thing, I was just hovering the mouse over the time to see much longer it had. Boy, it was rough. 11 minutes, guys. 11 minutes.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, almost 6 minutes left.
Dominating.
2 minutes. Should we get into like a plot summary? I
No.
mean, it's gonna be short.
Yes,
Not really much
yes,
to
we
it.
probably should. We probably should.
Oh yeah.
How accurate
Okay.
is it going to be? Probably not great.
So it starts out with a group of people in a tent, like on a snowy mountaintop, I guess.
It
And they're
does.
talking about soldiers and stuff that disappeared in the area or went AWOL or something like that.
Yeah, because
And
even in
then
the opening credits, you hear the German, and you get a
Yeah.
real sense of Nazism, the German war.
We got a lot of like German stuff going on here, you know.
And it goes right into those three characters that we get.
was it Nazi zombies and it was American soldier zombies, right? It was both? Or was it just because it was American
Ooh, maybe.
soldiers? But I
Who
thought that there
cares?
was some I thought they talked about, yeah. I know, I'm trying to overanalyze.
Because it's like one of those things where like you have the American zombies, German zombies,
Yeah,
humans zombies, real zombies.
Yeah.
Like everyone seemed were like zombies. Like the zombies were more zombies than the actual zombies were sometimes.
I thought it was supposed to be Nazi zombies, but then all of a sudden they're American zombies who don't know the war's over, or they want to keep fighting the war, or they're trying to find the zombie, well, the chemical.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
What's the movie
Wow,
about?
I forgot that that's what that was about. I forgot that that's what they were trying to find. Holy crap! Thank you, Steve.
Yeah.
You gave me more insight to this movie than I.
I
Thank
know.
you. I have nothing else to say. I'm gonna listen to everything you have to say.
The beginning was interesting because there was a lot of like video interference and the video cut out a little bit.
Yeah.
I was having fun because I was like, oh, maybe we can't watch the movie, but
I know.
then it was
Like the tape
fine.
is going to self-destruct.
Master Sergeant Orville Friedman.
Oh my god!
Look at that quality.
You got that nice play button there.
Oh my gosh! The movie's never. The three are at camp. It becomes night. The zombies come out, and these zombies are interesting because they can use guns.
They're through the trees. Zombies.
Yeah. Okay.
Walking
I see
through.
it. Oh no! He was shooting.
Got?
Are the zombies
Oh,
shooting?
So they have guns.
But these zombies end up shooting our three individuals to kind of set the tone, and then we cut to Nick.
Nick Monroe, special agent.
Wow.
Good old Nick. He is just so stoic in his behavior. He is just a man. He's just a man.
Oh, look at him being fucking brooding.
There has to be one.
God, he's annoying. Like every scene is just like him.
Him going.
I know. He's a no-nonsense man's man. I like how he's carrying his jacket slung
Yes.
over his shoulder.
And just standing on the stairwell.
In a dark stairwell. Very charismatic.
The jacket has more of a personality than he does.
It's louder than all the dialogue too.
Yeah. He's not sexist
Really
at
even-
all either. That's the best part. Like
No,
he is
not at
he
all.
appreciates every woman out there for who they
Well-
are and not just their bodies. You know, he really cares.
Quantity, not quality.
What is going on?
Holy fuck! That was terrible. Did you hear him?
What'd he say?
Quantity, not quality.
Oh, jeez. Well, all the women want him too. Like that one that was just like hanging on him in the bar or whatever when he was in his leather jacket.
That's exactly what I want them to do.
Yeah, so Nick is sent to try to find the zombie gas, which will either kill 2 million people or do nothing.
The gas may be effective enough to kill 2 million people. Or, on the other hand, be perfectly harmless. I don't know what exactly.
One or the other.
Damn.
Yeah, right. It's either 2 million people or no one. I don't know. He goes to Germany.
Okay.
Because that's where the war was fought. So he walks around Munich, tries to find some information about this chemical and about who could be behind some things. And as he goes from like stop to stop, some kind of zombie-esque giallo force is killing the people that Nick has had interactions with. Ooh, okay. This
Come
is
on.
familiar territory. I can deal with this.
Something good, exciting happened.
Whee!
See if his death's gonna be as good as the other guy.
The police seem to view Nick as a problem a little bit, even though it's not really addressed later on. But they think like Nick is going around killing these people and not only killing them, but eating them.
The police say that someone killed him and ate him in the back of the camera store.
Ate them!
Let's go look at the other stiff.
You're not even going to defend yourself and say, no, I didn't eat someone.
And he was accused, and I think didn't somebody tell him that like the guy was eating it, and Nick was just like, okay, like he's
Yeah.
accused of murdering and eating people, and Nick was just like, okay, let's go to the next location.
It must have been zombies, but zombies don't eat people. Ghouls do. All right.
Yeah, that was a big discussion in the movie, which was kind of interesting.
Zombies do not devour human flesh. Ghouls do. And neither of them exists outside of
Ghouls?
fiction and
That's
folklore.
Okay.
George Romero
Okay.
used to call them.
Get it right, okay?
No, but it's just funny to me of like,
Camera store.
you're being stupid. They're both fictional, but this is how one has to act. A lot of zombie talk, like what qualifies as a zombie and zombies are real or not. And I will say, like, this movie's take on zombies is a unique one, at least for 1981, in my opinion. But like zombie, it seems like isn't that big of a deal because you keep your mental shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
for real.
turn gray with
Well,
scarring.
the worst
Yeah,
part, I
right.
guess you live a lot longer too.
Was it you, Dylan, that mentioned the basic idea was kind of interesting? Was that you, or
I
was
think
that
we've
Seth?
all,
Oh.
at some
Mhm.
point, I feel like we've all brought up, like, there's been moments to this movie where I appreciated where they're trying to go with it. They just never implemented it in a good way. It just
Yeah.
never landed, and it never flowed well. It never was lit well. Acting was not good. I like the concept.
Yeah,
it's an
that's
interesting
cool.
concept. It's terribly executed.
I guess because it's like a 1981 film, some people might be like, "Oh, it's just too old." It aged itself because I've seen some amazing 1981 films that doesn't make you feel like you're in 1981. You're just watching a movie. You're experiencing something. This one, you felt like you were in 1937.
Yeah, it was very boringly shot. It was just static shots. The camera was locked down most of the time. It was just people walking into frame and walking, out of frame and stuff. And it was very, like the way it was put together was really slow and kind of boring anyway. And then add the endless dialogue and everyone, us not understand what was happening.
I don't understand the zombies talking, and laughing, and joking. Like,
I missed all of that.
I know. I know.
I missed everything so far.
What is happening?
I don't even know what's going on in this movie. Who the hell? Where are they? First off,
What happened to the zombies? I am
What is
still-
happening?
I just don't care enough, I guess. That's the bad part.
I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
Dylan's checked out.
Yep.
At one point, Nick goes into a brothel.
Take it nice and slow. And secure.
I feel uncomfortable.
I know. And he has the girl
Yes.
like start taking off her clothes, and he's acting all weird and stuff.
Who's
What is it? A
watching?
mirror? Is that a mirror or a window? And then he grabs a chair and smashes it into, I guess, it was a mirror or a window.
Oh, that's so pretty.
What is he? Terrible?
Was there someone watching through that?
So he was behind the
Must have
mirror?
been. I guess, or maybe window?
What is happening?
This movie is a mess.
And then this guy runs out, he's holding his face and like stumbling around, and Nick just leaves. It's like, what was that about? How do you know there was someone there?
Because he's so cool for school that he knows everything.
So too cool for school.
It just felt like scene after scene rather than actually being cohesive. Like there was a moment where he was chasing a zombie that stabbed one of his friends. Oh,
Shivved him.
I'm not gonna run away from the scene of the crime.
Yeah, we had that amazing death scene.
With the tongue. Oh my god.
Tongue thing sticking out. Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna speed walk awkwardly away.
And he's chasing him throughout the city.
Oh, I love it. I love the gun thing. He's like,
I know.
And they go into a basement and the zombie's like laughing. He shoots the zombie. Nothing happens to the zombie. He's just standing there.
how
Oh,
is it that
no.
we're in the basement and the lighting's like better?
And the zombie goes to attack him, and then another scene starts completely different with Nick, and like nothing's brought up about how that was resolved. What? Is he a
There's no
zombie
bullet
or
holes.
is he a... I'm thinking that these zombies are like actually part of society. But wait, how did he get out of that situation?
That's what I'm saying. Like he just like
The guys
got really
grabbed
close
him.
to him, and he was like, "Who's that?"
And now he's in an electronics store.
Oh.
What was with the guy that worked in the camera shop? His mustache? Is that a
What
mustache?
is that mustache? That's
Kind of
part of the movie.
interesting.
The
I
only
know.
good part of the movie.
I want him to braid them together, grow them long, braid them.
I didn't mind the third act when Nick, his arm candy girl, and like some doctors go back into the snow where the original scene was taking place with the zombies. Uh-oh, here we go. Here we go. Let's go, movie. Come on. Redeem yourself. I thought it started picking up at least once we got to that location.
There was a few cool
Robert.
shots where they were coming out of the fog.
Okay, here we go. It's kind of creepy.
Yeah, it's weird.
It does remind me of Dead Snow.
And then when the zombies attack that one doctor guy, when they're like getting a little physical with him, and there's
Yeah, they're like-
hip action. There's some
Like,
thrusting.
I'm like, what do you think turns them? A single bite, multiple bites?
Or they whoa. Woo, too hot
What are
for
they
YouTube
doing?
right now?
Yeah, I was like,
Oh,
another porn? What is happening here?
it was
Why is there
oddly
nothing-
sexual. It was
It
oddly
was.
sexual.
I mean, there was, yeah. I mean, I don't know what was going on there.
There's something that's missing in this movie too. It's just the fact that, you know, it's a zombie movie, but there's like no real gore.
Oh, he's gone.
Not even gonna show us blood, nothing. This is like a colored movie, but it feels very black and white. There's very little blood. There's very little coloring. There's no special effects to it. Like,
To me, felt like a 1950s like monster movie. There's even a moment where the zombie comes into the tent, picks up the girl, and like walks away with her in his arms. And I was like, wow, this feels
Yeah.
very dated, even for like 1981 standards. What are we watching? A 1950s like monster movie?
I know, right?
I would rather.
Was he trying to go for a throwback, maybe, the director? Like, I want to make it so it's like an old 50s, you know.
Maybe.
The music was kind of reminiscent of those movies
Mhm.
too, the older ones as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not-
It was like
not
over
so
the
much 80s.
top and
Mhm.
very on the nose. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So maybe it was just like a modern, at the time, modern 50s monster movie.
Like a throwback.
Oh, Are the zombies hanging out in town now? What were they doing? Watching a movie?
I like how the girl's laughing. Haha,
Do you have any
zombies.
crime business
She was
to do?
attacked twice.
I know, she was almost killed.
And we found out a lot more about these zombies, and these zombies can talk. They can use guns. They retain all their memories. They are basically humans that can live forever, but do have some skin decay, dependent on if they're getting the chemical or if they're eating human flesh. So either way, it seems you can either get some more of that chemical to like live a little bit longer, or eat human flesh, and that extends your life.
At one point, Nick like smears some makeup on his face or something, and he goes and
Yes.
infiltrates the zombie soldiers, and he goes in there. They don't even notice that he's not part of them. Oh, so he's putting makeup on
I
himself?
thought you couldn't kill
Yeah,
zombies.
but only on his top half, not his torso.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of soldiers that still talk about the war, which was a really cool scene in my opinion. Interesting.
I don't know the war's
Got
over.
an interesting take.
Like, I'm actually interested right now. And then we cut.
And I'm wondering if the version we watched was cut, because there was a lot of jump cuts and awkward things going on. Like there'll be a shot where Nick is infiltrated those zombie soldiers, and they're talking about how they have enough gas so they can live another 100 years.
Lieutenant, how many canisters are left?
Not for a couple of 100 years.
In the very next scene, they're all melted skeletons.
Yeah.
We're like, what happened?
Yeah.
Like, or is that them? Did they disintegrate?
That would be cool, but I doubt it. Oh, maybe they did.
I'm wondering
What?
how much time has passed that there's enough like decay on these bodies
Yeah.
that they're like just complete bone.
It just didn't make any sense.
I don't know. All I can say about this movie from here on out is I cannot give you any like more story development. I can't tell you what happens next. Like you guys can carry it, and I'm just like, okay.
Well,
'Cause
the
I
funny thing is,
don't know.
the funny thing is that at one point we were having a discussion about snowshoes.
Have,
Do those shoes?
I don't think he has his
actually
snowshoe
help?
on right.
Yeah. It's just, he's struggling. He's struggling big time,
Yeah.
especially that left one.
Yeah, dude, his left
Work.
one is not strapped in well.
Like when
Yes.
Seth wore them last. And where'd you go? And what were you doing? It's like we're doing
Yeah.
anything to get ourselves out of that movie.
Have you ever worn snowshoes before? You have?
Yeah. Yeah.
Does it work?
Yeah. I mean, I only did it once as a kid.
Did you go anywhere in particular?
Just walked in the woods.
At your house?
Yeah.
I don't remember much about this movie we just watched because I don't
Yeah.
care. That's how bad. I don't care.
It also, there was stuff that didn't make any sense. Like at the end, the girl is spraying one of the zombies with like a fire extinguisher, and he melts. What is that?
The fire extinguisher? The zombie's biggest fear. Yes.
Like, what is that
And
about? I was like, is that acid? No, it's a fire extinguisher, and the zombie just melts. It just like got on his back and stuff. Is it melting?
Is it gonna decay?
It's gonna be like some Evil Dead shit here.
It's not even melting. It's just like, oh, you're a human. Oh, now you're a skeleton.
And now
Like,
you're a clean skull, yeah, which was kind of an interesting shot when the skull head came out, but it's like completely
Yeah.
clean. There's no flesh on it.
Ooh, oh, it's a skull.
Kind of
So
neat.
just like
I guess.
I'm trying.
Yeah, right.
But why would a fire extinguisher? It was hard to follow too, and it wasn't interesting, and yeah, it was hard to hear. So it was rough.
But I do like some of the ideas that were laid out. The whole
Yes.
army of past armies, whether it be Nazis or Americans, coming back is interesting. And would you be used later in movies like Dead Snow or something like that? This take on zombies was interesting of a way to prolong life. I like how all the normal people like walk like zombies and all the zombies walk like normal people. Really throwing off my expectations.
I'm real.
Walking like a zombie, so you know he's a human.
We're all physical media fans. Like if Vinegar Syndrome announced that they're putting out uncut 4K remastered version of this with a feature-length audio, making of documentary, audio commentary, interviews, all this stuff, would you guys buy this, or would you just say, no, I can't?
Depends on the price.
Mhm.
I would be interested because I feel like what are you going to offer me more than what I've just seen? I would be curious on where you could take me and how much more my decision changes.
I think it depends on the extra features. If there's like a making of documentary talking about the struggles of it, talking about like perseverance or something like that, it might make me appreciate it more, and then also be more watchable because it's at least not straining to the eyes, not
Yeah.
horrendous to the eyes. I can't tell if I'm going cross-eyed or just this is so blurry.
Local zombies.
Like I feel like it's
Both.
messing with my vision, but I would need a lot of extras in order for me to be excited about it, if that makes sense.
Because I would be
Yep.
kind of curious to see
Yeah.
the behind the scenes of this. Like I'd
Yes.
be kind of curious to see it. I have to admit, just because I find behind the scenes of bad movies, really fascinating anyway. So if it was
Yeah.
like that kind of stuff, it would be interesting. But yeah, pretty intense.
Yeah.
It was intense. Now it's outside.
Oh my gosh. Back intense.
I just got it. Okay. I'm a little slow.
Joel M. Reed has Bloodsucking Freaks that was released by Vinegar Syndrome. Was that a pack disc, Steve?
But I don't know if you can see, but those. Let's see the glare here.
There you go.
That is
Yeah.
special features. Like, look at that
Yeah.
phone book. Yeah. So I mean,
Wow. Out of all the horrible horrors, this would be the worst one.
well, I'm not gonna show my hand yet. I might recommend this. We'll see. I mean, I wouldn't recommend watching this, especially not on in this kind of a quality version on YouTube. As we said, it's really rough to get through. It's hard to hear. Looks like it might be edited anyway, but even on top of that, it's a really dull, slow movie. As we said, I would consider purchasing it if it came out in a fully loaded special edition Blu-ray or 4K or something like that. Not that that would ever happen, but I'd consider watching it again in that state. But outside of that, I wouldn't recommend it.
Steve, I am with you. A bajillion %. I would definitely not recommend this movie. It's just not a cohesive thought. I think there's so much missing. Again, we've gotten a format of it that some things are cut out, but I think even with the things thrown back in there, it still will never be as cohesive as where they thought they were going with it. It's just like they're missing something. They needed a script supervisor there telling them that they're missing this stuff. So no, there's just too much. The lighting and everything. Like I can get behind a poor quality image, but at the end of the day, you can tell whether something's lit right or the acting is done well. And it wasn't. The acting wasn't well. The lighting was bad. The story was bad and going nowhere. And I can't recommend it. It's probably one of the worst movies I have ever watched.
I agree with both of you. I've been on the record saying that 1981 is the greatest year in horror movie history. This movie single-handedly makes me look like a fool. This movie is terrible. I wanted to like it. I wanted to see some redeeming qualities. And yes, there are some interesting story elements, but overall, as a whole, this movie breaks the cardinal sin of film. It's boring. Film is supposed to be entertaining in one way or another, but this movie, unfortunately, is just boring. So, thanks for slogging through Night of the Zombies with us. Our next horrible horror will be found on Steve's channel at Retro Analog Entertainment. So make sure you subscribe to him not to miss an episode.
Yeah, guys. I mean, I'm not saying it was the greatest movie, but it was fun watching this with you guys. Suffering through it together. So next time is Seth's turn to pick. So let's see, Seth. Dylan and I have not had the best picks the last couple times, so you got to redeem it.
I'll
So
do
we'll
my
see what happens.
best.
Fingers crossed. This next one keeps me awake.
We have low standards. And we'll see you all next time.
Bye.